let's just call things what they are. The war on terrorism is nothing but a grotesque lie. Anytime you hear the war on terror, know that the people saying it are lying or they're dupes or whatever they are. But it's just a total gigantic lie. We don't get terrorism. I tell you, the Bush administration, and this is not an exaggeration or a hyperbole at all, they don't give a damn about terrorism. They're not at all concerned about terrorism. If they were, they would go get the people who actually did the terrorism. That's Osama bin Laden and Zawahiri and the leaders of Al-Qaeda. And you heard the dismissive, smug, uncaring answer that our deputy advisor to the Homeland Security Department just gave you. So, well, it's difficult. It's difficult. We can't be bothered to go ask an ally to go get a guy that we know is hiding in Pakistan. The whole war on terror is a lie. It's a terrible lie. Instead, we went into Iraq that had nothing to do with Al-Qaeda, nothing to do with the so-called war on terrorism. Yep. It's not about terror. It's about many other things, including oil. But it is definitely not about terrorism.
The United States, I mean, are big participants in the war on terror. I mean, they're terrorizing a region of this world more so than it had been 5 years ago.
You know, that's certainly a fair point. There's so many. You know, the right, the Republicans want to keep saying, hey, you know, there's Jenker. You know, they would point out that there we go again. There's a bunch of liberals on the radio talking about how we shouldn't have invaded Iraq. It was the wrong war at the wrong time, and we shouldn't have you know, what are we going to do now? We're there now. You guys want to live in the past. We might, that point would have greater validity if on a daily basis, 10 times a day, people in the administration didn't keep misrepresenting the situation as it is. If they didn't keep talking about the war on terror, if they didn't keep tying them together, if they didn't keep sort of suggesting again that, you know, it's part of the sovereign country of Pakistan, if they didn't keep making it simple and forgetting about the Iraq war, if we didn't have to keep reminding people of the reasons why we're there, if they were honest about it themselves, we wouldn't have to keep going over it again and again and again.
What I'm not willing to get past is this whole war on terrorism issue, okay? You know, Ben, you were right about if they were willing to admit the things that they have done wrong or not continue to say things as if Iraq is tied to the war on terror or ever was, or whatever the hell the war on terror is. But I'll go one step further. I mean, they're threatening to do it again in Iran. Mm-hmm. I mean, the New York conservatives talk about it on Fox News Channel every single day. Dick Cheney, John Bolton, George Bush have threatened it over and over. So they're threatening to make the same exact mistake again. And you wonder why we want to go into the past. We want to go to the past so we know what mistakes we made so we don't make them again. And then, you know, people will say, oh, liberals, they don't understand. There really is a threat. They think there's no threat. Oh, what? They don't remember 9/11. No, but you're missing the whole point. I do remember 9/11. I think there is a real threat, and it drives me crazy that we aren't going after the real threat.
I think everyone else doesn't remember 9/11. I feel like that day has been forgotten and it's been dismissed for this entire war on terror and invading Iraq and killing Saddam Hussein. I mean, really, what did that get us a couple days ago?
Jill, I think you are entirely right. I almost want to write a country song. Have you forgotten?
No,
okay?
but I mean,
no. But wait a minute now. They forgot entirely because if they hadn't, the whole public would clamor, the Democrats would clamor, the media would clamor. You know. Credit to CNN for doing it once there, 5 years later, but everybody would be clamoring, why aren't we getting bin Laden? Why didn't we get Zawahiri? Why haven't we decapitated Al-Qaeda? Instead, no one talks about it. No one. All they talk about is Iraq, understandably, because our army is bogged down there for no good reason. But why? So 9/11, nobody cares anymore. And nobody talks about it.
If the mission that President Bush set out on was the appropriate mission, then killing the brutal tyrant a few days ago, we would have felt some sense of relief. There would have been something that shifted, something that changed. And there was nothing. I mean, if anything, it just perpetuated violence.
God damn, I'm so angry. I tell you, man, I get legitimately angry. Of course it's about the effing oil. Why don't we go after some other brural tyrant?
Why did it take you this long to figure that out?
Just hold on. You think it's a brutal tyrant? Is there a shortage of brutal tyrants in the world? We're not going to Africa. We're not going to Asia. We're not going anywhere else. And we don't give a damn about Osama bin Laden sitting comfortably in Pakistan. It's all about the oil, and it sickens me to my core. It should sicken us all until we throw all the bums out. Every single one that supported the war, Republican, Democrat, that's still talking about this nonsense war on terror when it's nothing but a terrible, awful lie. If you want to do a war on terror, I'm with you. Let's go and do it. Let's fight fundamentalism. Let's get Bin Laden. Let's get Al Qaeda. But that's not what you want to do. You want to steal people's oil, and then you want to sell it to me like I'm an idiot about the stupid frickin' what you call the war on terror.